Hey everyone, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk The Expanse. I just finished watching episode 8 and my gosh was it a doozy. The Rocinante met up with, they crossed paths with Miller on Eros, completely unbeknownst to either of them. They were both heading to the exact same place, namely the room of Julie Mao, aka, why do I keep forgetting this name? Lionel... It's not Bukowski, but it's Polanski. Lionel Polanski. It came to me. So they arrived at the same time, near enough to the same time. Miller actually saved the Rocinante crew from a shootout with thugs from who exactly? One of the Earther Corps. Who did Kendo sell them out to exactly? On a rewatch, I'll probably figure that out, but I'm not entirely clear. The fact is Kenzo sold them out and bailed. He's in the wind now. The thugs that were called to eliminate the Rocinante crew, they're all dead. And Miller and the crew have just discovered Julie Mao dead in her room. And what killed her? Well, apparently, whatever that stuff was that we saw her discover in the very first sequence of the pilot, which we thought was on the Scopuli, but now I'm thinking maybe wasn't, maybe was actually on the Anubis. And yeah. What is that stuff exactly? Whatever it is, it was probably discovered on Phoebe, and it wiped out that research station, and now it's loose in the solar system. Maybe it's all destroyed. Well, maybe the bulk of it is destroyed on the Anubis. The Rocinante crew, they took the Anubis out with a missile hit. But Julie came to Eros and she clearly was contaminated with it, and she brought it with her, and that's what killed her. So now it may be all over Eros. Eros seems like a major hub in the belt, which means it may well have spread already. So suddenly this has become a very different story. We're no longer talking about potential war between Earth and Mars so much as we're talking about how do we stop the weird energy-eating blue crystalline stuff. And are we going to identify what it is? And who exactly owned the Anubis and the other stealth ships that attacked the Donager and the Kant in the first place? Does Fred Johnson know anything about that? He's a little bit suspicious, but he may know, because he also sent the Rocinante to this particular asteroid there where that stealth ship just happened to be. The man seems to know something about these stealth ships, more than he's letting on. Hopefully we'll learn more about what exactly it is that he knows. I'm ready to jump right into this. It was such a great episode. I just watched it. I want to watch the next one now. Let's do it. This is episode 9, Critical Mass. Oh, we're not in the belt anymore. We're between Jupiter and Saturn. We're way out there. Oh, we're flashing back. All right.
Ladar's really flaky.
Scopes on this bucket suck.
That's Julie Mao.
If I had your kind of money, I'd be sitting in a penthouse at the Shangri-La.
My father's money.
I see.
And that's his weapon on that ship. Belters need to know what it is so it can't be used against us.
You may not share our brittle bones, but you're definitely one of us, Beltalada. Marchand on the tap, Bradmans. They are scientists, not soldiers.
They work for my father, they'll fight.
Oh, her father worked? Like, owns Phoebe Station or something?
That's a gunship.
It's all hands, we are being boarded.
Yeah. Same tech that we saw on the Donager, which makes sense.
Stinking belters. Always trying to take what isn't yours.
Hands off that one. She's a complication. Put her in here till I figure out what to do with her.
So it's Julie Mao's father's company. Pierre Chang.
Yeah, the distress beacon has been planted on the Scopuli. Canterbury should be picking it up soon.
Oh, we're getting answers. I like this. I mean, in my mind, it's no mistake that the ship's called the Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, right? Like, it feels like all the ship names matter.
This is Lionel Polanski. The pickup has gone bad. The crew is dead. I'm being held captive. I'm alone. Please help me.
So yeah, we thought this was all in the Scopuli, but it's on the Anubis. Yeah, this is them taking out the Cant. So we thought her escape was actually after the destruction of the Cant. All right, interesting. The timing's making a little more sense now. Tie her hair back so we don't have to use the CG hair any longer. Don't go touching that stuff. You're infected now. Okay. Anderson Dawes.
This is Lionel Polanski. Mission has failed. If it's a bioweapon, I've never seen anything like it. But I just have to leave.
Okay, this is when she gets into the little shuttle and bails for Eros. And that's how Dawes and probably Fred Johnson know where the ship is.
Eros Station is within range of the Anubis shuttle.
Okay. Yeah, we figured that much.
I'll be there, waiting for you.
All right. We just filled in a bunch of gaps. Love it. Thank you, show, for giving us information. Oh, we're still flashing back. Okay. Does the necklace mean anything more, or is it just a totem? Is it just some worry beads for him at this point? We've spent a lot of time paying attention to that necklace. And what's the symbolism of this low-grav bird?
Anubis 1A is still here on Eros racking up dock fees.
Making sense. She's already sick, just getting off the ship.
I left a trail of breadcrumbs. A way for you to find me. And I waited. Dawes?
Oh, gross.
He didn't even answer.
Why didn't he come if he knew?
Right to be angry.
Oh. Kill the power. Great makeup and prosthetic makeup.
Stop the Razorback. I want to see it again.
She wants to see the Razorback again. I don't think she's gonna. I think she's done for. But what is the stuff? Oh. She had a vision of Miller before she died. She is dead, right? She's got to be.
Don't touch her. She could be contagious. Come on, boys.
It could be airborne.
We gotta go.
Just as easily.
And if you stay here, you'll never find out who did this to her.
Come with us if you want to live.
She's gone.
Room 22. Don't touch anything in there.
Like, seriously, don't touch anything.
Just lay low. Don't leave the station till we talk.
There's no more reason for them to stay on Eros, though. It's just where she ended up. So, really, where do you go from here?
Seal off this tenement. No one in or out without my say-so.
Inspector Sematimba, CPM. What the hell are you doing here? This is my crime scene.
CPM works for me. I'm looking for this girl.
What happened to her? What happened to her? Settle down. Not like this. Hey, easy.
We need to get back to the Rossi and off this rock now.
I want the truth as bad as you do.
Okay. Anchorage, Yukon Archipelago. That's more than That's more than rising sea levels. I'm having a hard time picturing that.
I never would have thought his...
You weren't here. Frank always said it is damn near impossible to stay properly mad at that brat. I'm not Frank.
I'm mad.
I need to say goodbye.
She's just ransacking his office. What's up with the pencils? What is up with the... Okay.
It's not airborne. But if it's wet, don't touch it. Unless you want incredible things to happen. She's got more than enough in her. Tell the crew to prepare the injections.
Injections for who? They want to spread this?
But your daughter is dead. We still don't know what exactly happened on the Anubis. I was able to obtain a viable sample of the protomolecule. The injections have been prepared. We are ready for lockdown. The irradiation units are in place. We can still do what needs to be done.
Protomolecule. Okay.
Now we stand on the precipice.
Dresden.
We can only learn by letting it learn.
It learns? Alright, Mr. Mao, let's learn more about you.
We got lucky. Proceed as planned.
What was Julie doing on the Anubis?
She was OPA. She found some new bioweapon they were putting together on Phoebe. She wanted to steal it. They couldn't use it on Belters. They used it on her.
What the hell was that?
Aero Station has experienced a radiation hazard breach.
Bad news is, ships are all locked down tight.
They just shut down the asteroid. What are the odds it was the Anubis that blew up? Or the Anubis shuttle, I mean. Oh, they're memory sticks. They're not pencils. Or they're both. That's cool. Not going to let us see any of it. But, well, fusion drive. Advanced fusion drive. Prototype gunship.
What ships were they installed in? Include Black Ops. Locate the drives. Where are they right now?
Are those the stealth ships, presumably?
The CPM stations carrying gangsters with badges. One team rounds them up, the other shakes them out. He knew it was gonna happen.
How could they know a ship was gonna blow up on the docks? They blew it up themselves.
It's all connected. The girl...
It's not your problem. It's not your fault. None of it is.
Yeah, it doesn't stop him from wanting to save the world.
But now I'm making it my problem. If I'm not back in 3 hours, leave.
All right.
Iodine supplement. Protects from radiation. Mandatory.
Probably just tracking chips. If they're not all tracked already.
This is gonna get ugly. I'm getting used to ugly.
Who is he? One of the guys who did what they did to Julie.
God damn it. If he killed Julie, he killed my ship too. I need you alive. Hey, break it on your feet.
Here's your problem.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting dynamic with Miller in the fold now.
The UN believes I was involved in the attacks on the Donninger. That is not true. And I can prove it. They were advanced stealth fighters. They didn't come from the belt. I didn't build them.
Okay.
No belter did or could. None of us can change the things we've done. But we can all change what we do next. I now hear the drumbeats of war. It's the sound of lies and the love of power. And I cannot stand idly by. And now, someone, somewhere, for some ungodly reason, wants the whole sad lot of us to fight and die. The ships that destroyed the Donninger were built at the Bush Naval Shipyards. They were built by Earth.
Okay, so Earth does, but is it a private corporation or is it the UN?
I heard them call him Dresden, that's all I know. They had us hooking up cameras and
Science gear all over the station.
If these assholes want people in those shelters, we should let them out.
Hey, you're welcome to try.
You said you were a cop. You a cop like him?
No, he was his own brand of cop.
This PM sees me with you, they shoot us both.
He's got a point.
Jesus, Miller.
Get this poor officer some help.
Comms just went dark.
This ain't an accident. It's a plan.
Oh,
We're just gonna stand here.
That was Kenzo,
Just
right?
charge in and start shooting.
Pretty sure we can.
You stand down. I got rank here.
Not today, you don't.
Sir, we're trying to...
Okay, we're just full-on gunfight. Civilians, yeah, what's Kenzo doing?
Some of your guys are taking fire down that connector shaft. You want to check it out? We'll take care of him.
Were they just suffocating them all? Is it radiation? Or is it just staged radiation?
Get out!
What was it?
We just got hit with a mega dose of hard radiation. We're dead.
So they're just like radiating civilians, killing them. What? Okay, so we're learning who the bad guys are, sort of, here. We're definitely piecing... The jigsaw puzzle's becoming clearer, that's for sure, between what we heard from Fred Johnson, what we figured out on Eros, what we got in the flashback this episode. We got a ton of information that sort of filled in some of the blank spots, things we were asking questions about. So... it was as we suspected at the end of last episode. Julie Mao got infected on the Anubis. What we didn't know, I don't think, is it seems like her father runs or owns or is somehow connected to Phoebe Station. They were doing the research there, and they were the ones transporting whatever they've made, this proto-molecule, to... what was their destination? Were they... Anyway, they made the proto-molecule and they were transporting it off Phoebe, and then that's when the Scopuli intercepted the Anubis, and it, presumably because Julie somehow had access to some of those records. So now it feels like Julie's father... I haven't learned his name, but I'm assuming he's Mr. Mao. I may refer to him as Pierre Chang occasionally because Lost, but he may be our big bad. It feels like he's the one who engineered the proto-molecule and wants a war between Earth and Mars. And he's got this guy Dresden working for him on the ground in Eros. So I'm trying to figure out what they were doing on Eros. They blew up a ship on the dock, in the docks. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's the shuttle that Julie came in on. Then they started herding up all the civilians of Eros, putting them into hard shelters, giving them iodine shots. But Dresden made gave an order early on in the episode to prepare the injections. So I'm going to assume that what they were preparing was what they were dosing to people, the iodine shots to help with radiation. So if they're injecting them with something that is derived from the proto-molecule, and then they're being dosed with super heavy radiation, hard radiation, maybe that's the experiment. Maybe that's what they're trying to do right here, is they're radiating the proto-molecule and seeing what effect that has, or maybe they already know what effect it has, but they want to do that for some reason. They also talked about the molecule learning. So is it it acts alive, but a lot of basic life forms are alive without having intelligence. Does this have any sort of like genuine intelligence, or are we talking more about learning on an evolutionary level? Yeah, I don't know. What's the purpose of this proto-molecule? This all makes sense, because when you see Pierre Chang just sort of popping up as a face on a file in episode 2 or whatever, and we don't see any more of him, you're like, well, the story's going to have to come back to him at some point, because he's a known actor. He's got a resume. You don't just give a throwaway role like that to somebody like him. So yeah. And these stealth ships, I'm going to assume that they weren't built for the UN. The UN doesn't seem to know anything about them. Certainly Chris Jen doesn't know anything about them. And she's number 3 in the chain of command. So maybe 1 or 2 know, but she doesn't. That caught her by surprise. She was trying to figure out where these ships came from. But they were made on Earth. Not for the UN, but presumably, it's a private army. Like, corporations have police forces, corporations have space fleets, corporations have gunships in this world. It's like the colonial era when Europe was sending ships around the world, and the biggest landowners on the planet weren't countries but companies. The Hudson's Bay Company, the East India Company, the Dutch East Indies Company. Like, these companies had fleets and private armies, and this is similar to that. It's just, yeah. Would it blow our minds if, the massive trillion-dollar corporations of today and the near future have private armies? Not really. It would be scary, but it wouldn't be surprising. Anyhow, we have 1 episode left, and there's so much happening. There's no way this season resolves a ton of things. It'll just progress the story to the next level, and we will hopefully get a climax that involves our newly formed team reuniting on the Rocinante, escaping Eros, and maybe having enough new information to know where to go next. Because where do you go next? Do you go back to Earth? Do you hide out in the belt? Yeah, what do you do? Where do you go from here? I'm intrigued because Miller's sort of been folded into the Rocinante crew. At least the potential is there. It's not official yet, and it may not happen, but I feel like we're going there. And Chris Jen is intrigued by Holden. She investigated his background. She went to Montana to interview his mother. She feels like he's the lead. So in season 2, do we connect Chris Jen with the Rocinante somehow? Like, does she come out to space, or does she remain on Earth for the duration, and just is she the face of what's happening Earthside? I don't know. But what do we know? What's our cliffhanger? Our cliffhanger is Miller and Holden were just given a massive dose of hard radiation, and they're basically dead. Now, I don't know what the time frame is. I don't know whether we're talking hours or days or months or years, but this feels like, you just worked the Chernobyl cleanup site for 6 months. Congratulations, you've got 5 years to live. You're dead. We just don't know exactly when, but the cancer's coming and it's going to take you. Or maybe they're going to die in a matter of hours. All the near bodies on the floor, all the people that were dying, not yet dead, but dying, look like they don't have long to live. So is the proto-molecule the cure to the radiation? Is there potential for them to save themselves that way? It's almost impossible to guess where this show is going next, because it's such an intricate plot. And my grasp of the science, naturally, is somewhat limited, considering it's science 200+ years more advanced than what we've got now, and I'm not exactly a scientific genius now. So yeah, it's just guesswork. there's not a lot of point in extrapolating where this story's going. But man, am I loving the ride. I like the energy between Miller and Holden right now. I like that the Rossi's becoming a functional unit. It feels like maybe we're trusting Amos again. What's Kenzo up to on Eros? I feel like his story's not done, and he may come back into play sooner than I thought. But yeah, great show, really well written, excellent performances. I love the look of the show. It just feels so genuine. You know, it feels real, and I love that about it. Yeah, it's exciting to watch. It's fun to watch. It makes me think in lots of ways, and I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to this season finale next week. So until that, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.